someone in our community, Rabbi Ravid.
You know, there is a blessing in our tradition called Asher Yatzar. And the blessing, Asher Yatzar, thanks God for our body. And says that if any one of the parts of our body were not to function exactly right, then the whole enterprise, the whole system, would be in danger of shutting down. Now, the body is a very interesting thing, because we have a lot of limbs, a lot of parts of our body that work together in concert all the time, but they all have very different functions. You see, you would never go to a doctor and say, "Doctor, my hand is broken." And the doctor would say, "What's wrong with it?" And you say, "Well, I can't see out of it." And you would never go to a doctor and say, "Doctor, my foot is broken." And the doctor would say, "What's wrong with your foot?" And you would say, "Well, I can't hear out of my feet." You see, we don't judge our feet based on how good they do at being ears. And we don't judge our hands based on how good they are at being eyes. Each one of our body parts has a different way that they are judged. Now, our Hasidic tradition tells us that the human population, that humanity, is all made up of limbs. And every single person, each one of us, is a different limb. And each one of us has a different function that we play in this system that we call humanity. Now, I want to tell you something about my life. I have two sons, thank God. My oldest son is 5. His name is Avishai. And Avishai has what you would call special needs. He has a syndrome called Fragile X syndrome. Now, for Avishai, what this means is that he has some profound developmental delays. So while he may be 5 years old, and physically he looks like he's 5 years old, he has the mind, in many ways, of a 2.5-year-old. And the projection for Avishai is that as he gets older and older, he will stay with his mind being younger. And always, that's just the projection for him. And we knew that Avishai had Fragile X syndrome from the time he was born, essentially. And I'll tell you that when my wife and I learned about it, we were very sad. We were very, very sad, because we knew that there was a very good possibility, a very high likelihood, that Avishai might never drive a car. He might never get married. He might never have a full job, necessarily. And so we were sad and we were worried and really broke our heart. And then we realized, and constantly are realizing, and I'll tell you, it's not easy, it's never easy, but we realized that Avishai is just Avishai. We don't have to compare him to anybody else. You see, if we were looking at Avishai and said, he's broken because he doesn't act or think like anybody else, it would be just like going to a doctor and saying, my hand is broken because I can't see. It would be like going to a doctor and saying, my foot is broken because I can't hear. You see, Avishai, he doesn't function like a brain, but he functions like a heart. And man, does he have heart. He might not know his colors, but he gives a great hug. He might not know his numbers so well, but he cares deeply about his friends. So yeah, Avishai isn't so good at being a brain, but he's really, really good at being a heart, which means that we could look at him in one of two ways. We could say we're disappointed because he's not a brain, or we could celebrate him for being a heart. And that's what we try to do. And that's what our tradition tells us, that our whole humanity would only function if everybody was working at their highest potential, not what everybody else was supposed to be doing. The world would not work, our body would not work if everything was eyes. Our body would not work if everything was hands. Humanity does not work if everybody's the same. It can't. It can't function. And this is what I believe. Ze ani ma'amin. Every one of us here, all of you, and I really want you to hear me say this, all the students who are here especially. We care about you. We care about you and not who you're not. We don't care about judging you against other kids. That's not our goal here. Our goal is to help you be the best you that you can be. So if you're a hand, then we want to help you be a hand. And if you're a foot, we want to help you be a foot. And if you're eyes, we want to help you be eyes. And if you're a brain, we want to help you be a brain. If you're a heart, we want to help you be a heart. We don't ever want you to be something you're not, because if you were, then the whole system would break down. Asher Yatzar, thank you, God, for creating humanity in such a way that we all function differently. And if any one of us were broken and unable to do our function, that's when we would break down. No other time. So, ani ma'amin. I believe that us being created in God's image means that we all have a very important task in this world. I believe that all of us work together in concert, and together, only if we are our truest selves, will make this world a better place. Thank you so much.